Well, you guys know the drill. Another day, another project, another half-closed garage door, so hopefully the audio is fine, but as you'll see behind me, I actually already have the camper shell flipped upside down. This is part 2, I guess, of this budget build DIY series, and today, I'm going to hopefully be both insulating and carpeting it. Now, today is the last warm day that we're gonna have for a couple. It's supposed to rain, it's gonna be in the 30s again, and so I really need to get this done as quickly as possible, so that way all of the adhesive spray and whatnot sticks properly. All that said, let's jump into it. All right, so now that all the insulation is in, really the only thing left to do, I taped the seams so that way I could have the most seamless as possible surface to attach this audio marine grade carpet. Now, this I just ordered online. We'll see how it actually works. It got good reviews. I'm just hoping that it is flexible enough so that way I can kind of stuff it in the back corners. That's gonna be the hardest part to do, is around the front there. And again, I tried to tape all of those seams to make it as easy as possible, but it's tight. There's no denying it, and this is a large piece of material. Fingers crossed it works like that, but obviously you don't know until you try. So that's what I'm gonna do, my best. Well, what was supposed to be a chance of rain has turned into a couple of inches of snow in the past few hours. It's like 8 o'clock right now, and I think instead of jumping straight into work or working on my truck like I was going to today, I'm going to take a moment and tell you all a little bit more about today's sponsor, who ironically performs really well in these conditions. The closer I get to finishing this camper shell, the more I dream of all of the trips Tara and I are going to go on this summer. And as with all of my builds, my vision includes how I'm going to get power on the road, because whether it's for powering lights after the sun goes down or getting internet to work on my master's degree program this summer, my need for power is inevitable. which is why I am so excited to have made the Bluetti AC240 the center of my build. Featuring 360 degrees of protected structural and internal components, the portable AC240 boasts an impressive IP65 rating, protecting it from dust and low pressure water, allowing you to use the station to its fullest no matter the conditions. Like this morning, when Colorado decided it wasn't quite spring yet and it wasn't ready to let go of winter. Or for those times when Tara and I get just a little too muddy. Honestly, I'm surprised the hose didn't freeze. Crazy. Uh-oh. Just kidding. Works like a charm. These features, in addition to its high output and capacity, allow me to rest assured that I will have power no matter where our adventures take us or what the weather may hold. Now, obviously, the camper is not done, so I can't show you exactly what it's going to look like yet, but that doesn't stop me from dreaming, sketching, and imagining what the bed build is going to look like when it's finished. Now, if I copied a build to a T, which I have some other plans in mind, but this is what it would look like. I'll insert a photo here. Now, the Bluetti is going to sit here. From this spot, its 1500 watt hour capacity and 2400 watt output is going to allow it to charge my Starlink, my laptop, my small electronics, hardwired lights, which I'm really excited to figure out how to do for the first time, amongst other electronics like air fryers or a fridge if I felt like upgrading the camper in the future for longer stays on the road. Now, unsurprisingly, I'm super impressed by the Bluetti 240. And I say unsurprisingly because I've had nothing but a good experience with Bluetti's products, all the way back from the AC60 and B80 up to the 200L and now the 240. And this extends to more than just the technical specs that I mentioned, but also its portability and its newfound weather resistance, which I think are going to be game changers, especially as Tara and I downsize into a smaller space where more dirt, more water intrusion, and just more life is inevitable. So whether you're tackling a new build or you're looking to get on some awesome summer adventures like Tara and I this summer, head to the link down in my description down below or use the code WILDAC240 to get $100 off your purchase of a Bluetti AC240. And thank you again to Bluetti for sponsoring today's video. All right, now that we have talked power, it is still absolutely dumping snow outside, but thankfully I have this garage to work in. So I think this morning, the first order of business is going to be tackling these ceiling planks, which I think is really gonna transform the look of the camper. Up until this point, it's been a very trust the process, if you will. And today, I hope that that is going to come to a head and we're gonna get to see what this will look like when it's finished. Just that little bit of wood, I think it weighs roughly like 5 pounds, made such a difference in how the camper is just tied together. I hid a lot of the seams that I wasn't able to get around when I was putting down the headliner. I also just, I don't know, I feel like it ties the space together and makes it feel like more of a little cabin. I'm going back and forth between whether or not I'm going to stain these boards, which I probably should have done if I'm being honest before I set it in there, but if I do, I'll be super careful. I feel like it'll help them stop from splitting, but I hate how pine stains sometimes. It gets really yellow, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But Tara right now is kind of pawing me and giving me the side eye because she is itching for a good walk. So I'm gonna take her out, I'm gonna think about this a little bit more and catch you later this afternoon. Next up is cleaning and retouching the windows before reinstalling them in the shell. And as simple as it sounds, let me tell you, it was by far the most difficult part. It's not in. I can see all the beetle tape and everything. I can see the beetle tape. The window needs to be picked up. It's like sliding or something. Windows in a rig are never the most straightforward. From wonky aluminum frames to sheared screw heads and water testing for leaks, they might actually be my least favorite part of any build. But gratefully, this process was made infinitely more straightforward with 6 hands as opposed to 2. And I can't recommend recruiting your family and friends enough for this process. Which, speaking of, I'm not sure I've mentioned how I'm getting this help. Back in November, my parents, who you might have met before, sold their house and decided to hit the road as well. And their choice has allowed for us to meet up a handful of times since, which is not only helpful for projects like these, but also a really great opportunity to spend more time together. I think that this time has also been really good for Tara, who was just a puppy when I first moved back into my parents' driveway to start my first van build in 2021. She absolutely adores my parents and her big brother Coda, and it has been so nice to see her perk back up after a few months of health concerns and mood changes. All this to say, thank you, Mom and Dad. Without your help, there is no way we would be as healthy and happy, or window sealed, as we are. So the camper is not completely done, obviously. All I've done so far is restore the shell. But I'm gonna say at this point, I'm pretty psyched with how it's coming out. It's not perfect, but for my first time doing something like this and really having no experience with things like upholstery and tongue and groove, I don't think I could be happier. I don't really have much to complain about. That said, this is only the beginning. Now that the top is at least restored, I will have to get it back on the truck, of course, which you'll see more about this next week, but unfortunately my truck has been having a couple of small issues, so I need to attend to those, and next week is gonna look a little bit different, but don't worry, in no time we will be back on the build, getting this thing on the truck and building out the interior, which really is the fun part. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next week.